Yo, what is up, YouTube? We are coming up to the end of the year, and I just wanted to do this video on trying to predict what characters are going to be dropping in the second year of Marvel Rivals. So let's get into the video. All right, so just gonna add this part in. I believe it is only proper to give credit where credit is due, and I got this video idea from Cozy Rivals. So if you haven't, check his video out. He has a probably more in-depth and like more lore accurate things in his list that he has for the next upcoming characters. So again, just want to give credit to him because that is where I got this video idea from. But with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so just as a preface, this list has majority tank and supports in it because the developers did say that they're going to be adding a lot more tank and supports, but it's going to take some time. So I'm going to assume that this is probably where that application is into this next year of characters. So I've divided up those 10 characters, or like those 12 characters, sorry, into the seasons that I think they're going to be dropping in. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so first up, we have season 6, and this season has pretty much already been confirmed as to what characters they are, but we don't know their roles. So for me, I'm going to put Deadpool in the Vanguard role and Elsa Bloodstone in the Strategist role. And why would I do this? For one, Deadpool is a really popular character, and I've already said this in multiple different videos, that in this game, Marvel has the sauce to be able to make people want to play Vanguard or Strategist depending on what characters they drop in the game. Case in point being Gambit. People love Gambit. They think this character is really fun. He's a popular character, and they added him to the one of the roles that people didn't really find fun. They made his kit fun, had a popular character in it, and bada bing bada boom, you have a bunch of strategist players this season. The reason why I would like for Deadpool to be a Vanguard is because, one, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of the big home names are in the DPS category, and the Deadpool fan base is ginormous. And like, why else would you put him in the DPS role when you could put him into the tank role and funnel so many people to want to play Deadpool? That I think it just makes sense. And plus, his whole entire thing is regenerating his like body and stuff. So like, in my opinion, I think he could kind of play like a Terminus or something from Paladins, or basically like, let's say you're doing all this stuff and then maybe you press your ultimate or something and you use your like half your ultimate charge or something. I don't know how it would work, but like you like, when you die, your body just explodes, and I think it'd be kind of funny. And then whenever you press that button, you kind of like your body like reforms up together or something, and you get a second life. I think that'd be kind of sick. Maybe you could have a little bit of life stealing too when he takes a certain amount of damage, or like maybe he like activates a mode and then he can get life steal off of it, or damage reduction, something along the lines of that. I think he would be really sick as like a Vanguard with like dual pistols, and then he can swap to the katanas and stuff too. We need a tank that like is on par with like Daredevil and Gambit as far as complexity goes, and I think Deadpool would be a fantastic addition to the Vanguard roster coming into season 6. All right, so now on to Elsa Bloodstone. Just, you know, as a preface, I don't really know much about this character. I'm kind of just going off of like very brief like research over what her abilities and stuff are, but basically she has a regenerative healing factor. She hunts monsters and stuff, and I'm gonna be selfish and say that she should be a strategist. And well, I think that she could be a strategist in multiple different ways. I think she could provide like maybe AoE lifesteal for your team in a certain radius that are really close to her. Maybe make it so that enemies within that radius have an increased cooldown duration, like it ticks over a lot slower, and people inside of your radius have increased cooldown speed or something like that. I don't know, but I believe that, you know, you can kind of fit her into the strategist role if you try hard enough, and they can try hard enough. I mean, clearly Gambit wasn't supposed to be a strategist, but they made him into one of the most fun strategists we have in the game. So, you know, there's the proof right there in the pudding, where you can create a character that doesn't traditionally heal and put them into this role and make them work and make them fun. So that's all I have to say about Elsa Bloodstone. Let's get on to the next season. Now for season 7, I have as a double strategist season, and you might be saying, oh, well, what? You just listed another strategist, so like we already have. Bro, look at the second page of Duelist. Like, it's literally almost the same exact number as the number of strategists in this game. So I'm gonna cope and hope that season 7 is another double strategist season. And for this one, I have as Mystique and White Fox. If you guys don't know who they are, I think Mystique is pretty famous. Basically, she's kind of like Loki, where she kind of can disguise herself as other people. And this one is gonna go to credit to Cozy. And I think that she should have like the ability to be able to disguise herself as the enemy team and make plays that way. I think that would be amazing if she did extra damage and stuff to to the enemies while she's disguised. I think that'd be sick. Do I think it would be hella toxic? Yeah, because then I'd be getting doped by 2 Daredevils. That's not fun at all. And you can make it so that when, you know, just like Psylocke's invisibility, you when you get hit, you kind of get revealed and you kind of go back to your normal form. I think that'd be a really sick idea for Mystique. For White Fox, I'm hoping that she's kind of like the support version of Black Panther, where she dashes through her teammates and stuff to heal them. But I did see that she was leaked to be a strategist in this game, so they're still hoping. And she would primarily be a melee support, which we desperately need. And I think that she could have her niche being the like dash support. Like you dash through your teammates to heal them. That's like your only method of healing. I think would be kind of sick. As long as you're able to hit your teammates to dash through them, you can keep infinitely healing or something. I don't know. Just basically make her like a Black Panther, but for like support, is what I'm getting at. Now we're gonna get on to the next season, which is season 8, and I have a duelist and a strategist planned for this season, and the first one being Miles Morales and the second one being Spider-Gwen. I think having a full Spider-Verse season would be fire. You know, it would be fire. The skins would go crazy, and Miles and Gwen are really popular, so I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get these 2 characters. But how would I make them play? For one, I would put Miles in the DPS role because, to be honest with you, I want Gwen to be a strategist, and I don't see Miles being a tank. And so people might be asking, why would you add basically a duplicate character of Peter into this game? And to those people, like, go look it up. Like, Miles has so many different powers to Peter, it's insane. I would basically have him play like a Spider-Man version of Psylocke, and like he would have stealth, he would have like electric powers and stuff. So like maybe like a combination of Storm, Psylocke, and Spider-Man just all into one. And that's how I would envision Miles to play in Marvel Rivals. So yeah, onto Spider-Gwen. I want her to be kind of like basically the Spider-Man version into the support class. I think we don't really have a movement oriented support in this game, and I think that's probably why a lot of people find the support class boring. And I think Spider-Gwen would be a perfect addition to this roster. And how would I make her, like, what would make her different from the other strategists? I think she should be the CC or slow strategist that like sticks people to walls, groups people together, stuff like that, and have her utility be her like CC and grouping or something instead of it being raw healing. Because if you put a lot of healing on a support that can fly across the map, that's going to be giga broken. So I believe that her utility should be more focused around CC and stuff. I have a video made on why Spider-Gwen should be a support, doing like a hero concept on the character, so if you want to, you can go check that out. But that's going to do it for season 8. Let's move on to the next one. Now for season 9, this one's going to my tank players out there, and I have Juggernaut and Armor in the same season, and both of them being Vanguards, and I think this one's just a must, you know what I mean? So Armor has already been leaked in the game files to be coming, but Juggernaut has also already been teased in game with, I think, the deathmatch mode, and there's like a gem or something that's the source of Juggernaut's powers in there. And I think Juggernaut and Armor in the same season would go kind of crazy. For those who don't know, I don't know much about Armor, but for Juggernaut, basically he's kind of like the Thing, but basically Juggernaut I know is just a big guy that's basically like unstoppable, kind of like Thing. You can maybe make it so that instead of you can have him have the unstoppable passive thing that Thing has, so that maybe some tanks don't like playing against Spider-Man and getting hooked off the map. Just having 2 tanks with the ability to not be moved would be kind of fire, in my opinion. So I think he should probably be the big frontline brawl tank that we're desperately hoping for. I think that would make the most sense. I think Armor would also be kind of like a frontline brawl tank, and we have a lot of brawl tanks, I'm not gonna lie. Well, not a lot of brawl tanks specifically, but like a lot of melee tanks. And I think just adding 2 more, why not, bro? You know, why not? Just add more to the mix. I'm a big fan of Juggernaut, as in like seeing him in the films and stuff. I think it's funny that he just runs through walls and stuff. I think those 2 characters for season 9 would go kind of crazy, and the tank players would most definitely be happy about that. So let's move on to the next season. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the following seasons are gonna be really good for tank players. And for season 10, I have, well, a strategist and a tank coming in season 10, which the first one, which is a strategist, I have Mysterio, and the Vanguard for that season is Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider has probably been the most wanted character in this game, because I think they did a poll or something and Ghost Rider was at the top of the list, and it wasn't even close. I think Ghost Rider would fit as a Vanguard so well in this game. I think he would probably play similar to like a Roadhog, where he has like a hook that can hook people in with his chain, and then maybe his ultimate he does like a ring of fire on the point or something with his motorcycle. I think that would be so sick. I don't know which one they would like use. I think his name is Johnny Blaze, the one with the motorcycle. Correct me if I'm wrong for those Ghost Rider fans out there. And then there's like the new one where he has like the dual pistols or something. I don't know which one they're gonna do, but I think Ghost Rider as a Vanguard in this game would just be really, really cool. For Mysterio, I would have him be kind of like the illusion and like vision blinding support. Like he maybe makes a smoke cloud around the backline so that it's a lot harder for like dive characters to be able to dive them, and maybe in that smoke you can create illusions and stuff of those supports. So like maybe in that mist cloud and stuff you can create a copy of Invisible Woman that looks like she's shooting her teammates to heal, and so like the dive characters or something like try to go in, they dive the wrong person, they use all their cooldowns, and then like they get the wrong person, and then in that smoke, you know, I'm overcooking, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big Mysterio fan, so I think that, you know, him getting added as a strategist is really, really cool. And that's gonna round it out for season 10. All right, so now we're on to the final season, which is season 11, and I personally have a DPS and a Vanguard for this season, and those two being Cyclops and Doctor Doom. I think Doctor Doom is a pretty big add, especially because I think this season is going to be the month where Doomsday drops, and I think it's peak cinema, you know what I mean? Like you add the big villain for the big Avengers movie in the same exact season that he gets added to the game. Oh my days, bro. Like the people who would come to Marvel Rivals after that would be crazy. Just adding Doctor Doom into the Vanguard role would be like amazing for this. And adding Cyclops in, I think Cyclops would probably be a duelist. I would love for him to be a Vanguard, but like, listen, bro, like DPS need a little bit of love in my list, so I'm putting Cyclops as a duelist on this list. So there we go. That's the rounding out the year of the characters I personally want to get added. They're not going to do 5 tanks and 5 supports, let's be honest with you. They're going to add a lot of DPS because DPS is the most popular role. It is what it is. So anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What heroes do you guys want to come to the game in 2026? This is just my personal list. Obviously everyone's list is going to be different, but I tried to include some of my favorites as well as some of just popular characters that I believe have a good chance of coming. So I'm curious to see what characters you guys want to come in the following year. And yes, I realize that you know, the devs are not going to add only 2 duelists next year. They're going to add a lot more. So that's just my hope, that they're going to add 5 tanks, 5 supports, you know, but I really don't think that that's going to be the case. Curious to see what you guys think. But with all of that being said, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.